And a good afternoon here, 309. I know the Facebook feed here says, no audio most of the time, but we'll jump in here every so often with some updates on what is happening across the area. And we do have some showers and a thunderstorm, severe thunderstorm watch for Lubbock and most of the South Plains. Goes until 9 o'clock tonight. That's the area highlighted in green here. So that's Lubbock, Tahoka, Brownfield, Post, and then points north, Levelland, Crosbyton, Littlefield, Plainview, Matador. Across our area, scattered storms. Lamesa and Seminole are not in the watch, but still could see some storms down there to the south. So I want to let you know some of the questions we've received here on Facebook. Daniela asking, any hail with these storms? There can be some hail, but the primary risk today is going to be the damaging wind. That's why this first severe thunderstorm warning has been posted within our area for Castro County. Maybe about a little bit larger than 3/4 inch diameter hail, with the most intense part that's now up near Hereford. More than anything, it's been the wind gust, and we've had some stronger gusts above 60 miles per hour clocked there near Dimmitt. Coming back here to Lubbock County, it's raining, kind of just showing you how small these showers are, or thunderstorms. We're getting a few lightning strikes. Loop this here and show you over the past few minutes just a few lightning strikes around Lubbock, but it is not widespread. At least right now, the actual aerial coverage of storms is real small. Radar is showing it not raining at the West Loop and 19th Street, more from Milwaukee to Upland, almost to Recenter. Then another little shower from about 34th in Indiana down to the South Loop. It's been raining here for just a minute at 98th and University. Then another pretty good downpour stretching along Southeast Drive between that and US 87. I-27 also. I-27 now stretches down to 1585. Had the senator and the congressman here when they extended that. It wasn't because they were here to extend a few miles. First miles of many, many of the I-27 expansion. But anyways, you can see scattered around Lubbock. Nothing severe here now, just some rain. I did get the alert here from the First Alert Weather app, said lightning 9.1 miles away from you. So that's a sign of what we have out there right now. Just some pop-up storms around Lubbock. Wouldn't want to be outside because of the risk for lightning, but these are not severe. It rains for like a minute or two and then lets up. We'll take a look here from 98th and University, where again, just a minute ago it was raining and has now since let up. A minute ago it was raining at 98th and Slide, and you can see it has let up there. Then from 56th and Avenue A, looking back to the west, had that one little shower over the west side of the city that's moving away. If you have any questions here, feel free to post them in the chat here on Facebook and also on YouTube. Miguel and Tammy, that account shows, had a little bit of hail there, small hail in Plainview. That's also how quickly these storms are moving. So it was just a few minutes ago that storm with some small hail moved through Plainview. It's almost out of the county now, up toward Cress, north of Lockney. So the one severe storm that's out there right now is over Castro County, quickly moving up toward Hereford. And we do expect thunderstorms through this afternoon to increase in coverage over the next few hours. The risk today, primary risk, will be damaging wind. Severe thunderstorm warnings are issued for wind gusts of at least 58 miles per hour. Why 58? That's the conversion from 50 knots is 58 miles per hour. So you can say 60 mile per hour wind gust. The Storm Prediction Center watch does note that there could be some isolated reports up to like 75 to 85 mile per hour gusts, which obviously would cause a bit of damage. We do think the severe risk is a bit greater over the eastern Texas panhandle, but across our area when you get these high-based thunderstorms. In fact, a good perspective here. We'll go back to the Avenue A camera, and I'll try to swing this around just a little bit farther off to the east. We talk about high bases on the storms. That's because of the difference between the temperature right now in the mid to upper 90s, and the dew point is dropped off in the mid to upper 50s. So when you get a difference of that of like 40 degrees from the temperature to the dew point, those bases are higher up off of the ground, so that gives better potential for strong downdrafts to come. This is a different day from like on Thursday when we were watching those much lower storm bases and had much greater support for rotating storms and for a storm to produce a tornado like we saw a tornado on Thursday northwest of Lamesa and also southeast of Lamesa near Sparrenburg in southeastern Dawson County. That was Thursday. Today's threat is the wind. Could be some hail as well. These are more common of storms like what we see over the summertime. They're high base. They bring you some brief rainfall and the gusty wind. Not as much hail, but there is still the potential. The watch outlook from the Storm Prediction Center noted there could be some golf ball size hail reports. But this is a great vantage point right here. We're looking from 56th and Avenue A. Looks like it's probably raining here for parts of downtown toward Texas Tech, but just note how high based the cloud base is. That is what helps enhance the wind threat. And also that's what can sometimes, if it's dry enough, reduce your rain. At least we do have reports of some good rain here and there. Again, it only lasts for a few minutes. So just wanted to jump on as we're getting some of the questions here on Facebook. We'll keep the stream going so you won't hear any sound. Shania and John are working on the latest forecast information for what to expect through this afternoon, coming up here at 4, 5, and 6, also 9 and 10 tonight. Lower storm chance tomorrow and Wednesday, then it does look like a greater risk for severe weather returns on Thursday. So that is the update here with the storms moving across the area. We do have the severe thunderstorm watch for areas in green, including Lubbock. That goes until 9 o'clock tonight. At the present time, the one warning is for Castro County for severe wind gust potential. And as we go through the next few hours, expect more of those warnings to be posted, primarily for the wind, also some hail potential through this afternoon. So we'll keep it right here. You can also watch the stream at kcbd.com and the KCBD News app, also on our connected TV app. Just click live events. And we'll keep the stream going here on Facebook and on YouTube as well. Hope you have a great afternoon. And a good afternoon, 3:39. Matt Ernst here. Going to jump back on the Facebook Live and YouTube and KCBD.com. Just to let you know what's going on with this severe warning that has popped up, issued for wind. And the storms, they say, where is Adam Young? And that's what happens. Storms try to go to see Adam Young. So he was on the southeastern part of Lubbock County and said he estimated probably about 60-mile-per-hour wind gust. And also had a wind gust clocked at the airport at 58 miles per hour. That was at 3:30. So a severe thunderstorm warning in place for eastern Lubbock and southwestern Crosby County until 4:30. 70-mile-per-hour wind and maybe nickel-sized hail. We'll go in a little bit closer to show you where that hail potential is. Again, the threat today is mainly going to be wind and not hail, but there might be some smaller hail falling from Ransom Canyon and Buffalo Springs Lake to just north of Slayton. Right there's 400 going through the middle part of the storm, then stretching up toward 40. Right there is Acuff, and some pretty good heavy rain all the way up toward Idalou. Toward the Kittilou Gin there and coming down about to the northeast loop. So again, the city of Lubbock itself is not, for the most part, not in the warning, at least within the loop. Far eastern stretches of the city and up toward eastern Lubbock and western Crosby counties. That goes until 4:30. Elsewhere across the area, scattered thunderstorms. These are more springtime. This looks like more of a summertime setup where you get gusty wind, maybe some hail, and a brief downpour that doesn't last all that long. Looking to the northeast, we'll look here from southwest Lubbock. This is 98th and Slide from First Bank and Trust. You can see the dark sky there with the thunderstorm off in the distance. Now looking at our perspective here from 56th and Avenue A. We'll spin this back around looking toward the north and east. Again, more than anything, dark sky, high cloud bases, so you get some gusty wind out of these storms. And some of these will gust up, like the warning for eastern Lubbock County, up to about 70-mile-per-hour wind gust. And that is enough, obviously, if you're in a weak structure or something that's not, a tent or something outside like that. That's going to blow away. But sturdy structure, we get these kind of gusts fairly regularly here, so just want to be indoors and watch the storm as it passes. And storms won't take all that long to move on through either. Additional severe warning from Tulia about to Cress and Silverton along Highway 86. That also for gusty wind. Same thing up toward Amarillo and Potter and Randall counties under a severe warning as well. The main threat today is the strong wind. It's also really nice that we're getting some rainfall out there, including from just east of Meta near Sundown, Brownfield, seeing scattered small little storms out there. There is lightning, so when these storms approach, you want to move inside. Don't want like outdoor practice or anything like that. Or it is summertime, kids at the pool. You want to get inside just from the lightning threat with these storms. But just wanted to jump on real quick to show you here severe thunderstorm warning that's in place for eastern Lubbock and western Crosby County until 4:30. That's issued for gusty wind. We're going to see more thunderstorms across the area through this afternoon, producing the gusty wind and maybe some hail. Let me see any of the other questions here that, let's see, Christopher earlier had the gusty wind in Slayton and the rain that increased there. Jacob mentioned it was raining on University. Let's see, on Quaker rain for a few minutes, big drops, then stop. That's exactly the case. We'll go back in closer here around the city to show you that it does not last long at all. So going within the city limits here, you can see at this point now, it's mainly North Quaker getting some of the rainfall, stretching across the northwest and north loop along Erskine, up North University, North Indiana, along Spur 326 and the interstate. That's going to move up toward the airport here pretty shortly, and the rest of the city, maybe just a few sprinkles right now. Then you go back over eastern Lubbock and Lubbock County. Pretty good downpour moving into Idalou right now with that potential for 70-mile-per-hour wind. And maybe some small hail. We're seeing that right now on top of 40 and 400 over the eastern part of the county. Then stretching back down, rain is letting up now at Buffalo Springs and at Ransom Canyon. So that is a severe warning. It goes until 4:30 this afternoon. The storm itself is moving northeast at 35 miles per hour. So you're not going to get a lot of rain from any single storm, but with the coverage of storms this afternoon into this evening. Hopefully we'll get some good rain totals across our area. So that's where things stand right now. We'll go back to the radar stream and a full update coming up on KCBD at 4 o'clock. We'll see you then. And of course, if anything changes, we'll be back on the stream here to let you know. And do you want to respond here? I see Nadia had asked, is there a small tornado on the north side of town? Want to alleviate any concerns out there? You may see some scary looking clouds out there. These are very high base clouds, so we're not looking at any funnels or anything like that. Probably just seeing brief downpour. And sometimes that rain core and that hail core can look like a dangerous cloud coming down, but just want to alleviate your concern. In fact, around Lubbock itself, most all of the city not even under a warning. Do have the severe warning for gusty wind over the eastern part of the area, but you saw that question there, Nadia. Want to alleviate your concern and let you know just have some scary looking clouds more than anything else that is out there right now. These cloud bases are so high that the main concern is wind today. So again, that is the update here, and much more coming up here at 4 o'clock.
diameter. To the southeast of Abernathy, a moderate thunderstorm there. A scattering of thunderstorms with a stronger storm here just east of Plainview and west of Lockney. That works its way along Highway 70 on to the north. Around Floydada, nothing yet, but I guess we will watch this storm here that might develop over towards Floydada. Did have, again, a potential for some hail and strong winds as well, working its way through Floyd County. We're going to see this activity really continue across the South Plains off and on to at least sunset, maybe a little later than that. And you can even see some storms back to the southwest in Lee County, New Mexico. A little hail indicated with this particular thunderstorms, and there may be a warning, obviously, for Yoakum County if that storm moves into the region. Moderate showers north of Hobbs and back along 180. A couple of showers in the Clovis area, but keep in mind that thunderstorm watch continues this evening. Our biggest threats will be those strong winds, potentially up to 1-inch size hail across our region. As far as your lows tonight, could be some lingering clouds. There might even be a few showers in the area tomorrow morning, maybe northern or northeastern areas, but generally should be a nice start to the day. 68 in Snyder and Lubbock, and 59 in Muleshoe, and 60 in the Dimmick community, and 65 in Seminole. That's your morning lows. Your afternoon highs ranging close to 90 degrees tomorrow, generally cooler, but if you'll notice to the north, look at these 70s, Tulia back to Friona. There is a fairly strong frontal boundary rolling in. It's packing some gusty winds, could trigger a few storms, but the difference in temperature is evident with that front moving into the northern areas first. That's why you see a cool down beginning in Lubbock more towards the afternoon and evening. Still likely make it to near 90 degrees after a low of 68, then a high of 90. Low 80s coming up Wednesday, a chance of widely scattered thunderstorms, some that will likely be severe on Thursday. Temperatures a little lower in the 80s, back to the 90s with a chance of storms Friday. Does look like Saturday and Sunday it will be hot, but the rain chances may be a little lower by then, and then still in the 90s with some storm potential coming back Monday. And a quick reminder about our Hartman Roofing rain gauge contest, Christy. And again, these showers and storms will just continue to pop up over the area, diminishing later on in the evening.
Okay, thanks so much, John.
the South Plains, you can see some warnings down in the areas near Brownfield and all the way up to near Plainview. Biggest threats are wind gusts, maybe up to 60 miles an hour, but there have been a couple of these that have produced some hail near 1 inch in diameter. The storms are tracking generally northeast. Be aware of the lightning and the strong wind threat, Christine. We'll be monitoring that throughout the evening.
Okay, thanks so much, John. Thank you so much for joining us. That's all our time. We'll see you back here at 5.
And hopping back on the stream right here, just to show you, probably saw that yellow box pop up for eastern half of Lubbock and Lubbock County. Severe thunderstorm warning has just been issued, and this is for the baseline, the bottom line of what a warning would be issued for 60-mile-per-hour wind and potential for some 1-inch hail. The storm is moving northeast, shows about 15, I think maybe closer to 20, 25 miles per hour, but hail to the size of quarters, possibly 60-mile-per-hour wind. The hail cores would be, if you were to get that size of hail, where you see the darkest red, so pretty much along 1585, just east of 87 I-27, and then also from the east loop along 835 out toward Buffalo Springs Lake and Ransom Canyon. That's one spot where you could possibly see a hail core right there. Let me get a little bit more information here. And you can see the warning stretches. Just got the alert on my phone here from the First Alert weather app that said severe thunderstorm warning for your location. We're at 98th and University, so we're on the western edge of it. Can give you a perspective here from first looking from 98th and Slide back to the north and east. And yeah, some mean looking clouds out there, but more than anything, it's the gusty wind that we have. Now 56th and Avenue A, looking back to the northeast, a little bit closer perspective on that's the part of the thunderstorm moving up toward Idalou right now. Let's get a little bit more information here. Let's see. Yeah, 60-mile-per-hour wind, 1-inch hail potential with this thunderstorm right here. So again, you see a lot of that gusty wind that's being kicked out as well. Go back to the radar perspective. And we're starting to get some rain, at least at the Avenue A tower cam showed a little bit of rain. We're coordinating here for an update we'll have on KCBD in just a moment. Let me show, pull up a couple of other things here. Also, haven't checked the chat here in a little while. Let me pull that back up. Just wanted to coordinate a few other things that we had going on right here. And of course, we're between newscasts, so we'll be back on KCBD here in just a few minutes. So it's over East Lubbock where we have this severe warning. And let me give you a perspective here from where we are here at the station at 98th and University, looking back to the northeast. Showed you just a moment ago what it looks like from 56th and Avenue A. A lot of dust being kicked up as well with this thunderstorm, as you'd expect when the main threat from storms today is the wind potential. Now we're looking back to the east-northeast here from 98th and University. And let me see. The good thing is, and certainly when you have a storm right over the city, you'll get plenty of reports on what is happening or what is not happening out there. So the good news is, haven't had just a whole bunch of hail reports, but I will note that out of the storms we've seen today, this one does have a little bit more of a hail signature, or at least did just a few minutes ago. And this shows how some of these thunderstorms have the energy to pulse up and then they fall back down. So it does look like there could be some hail along 84 Southeast Drive on the southeastern side of the city, right where as you go through the underpass right there where it connects from MLK and then you go back down, you know, you kind of one side to the other and then goes to the other side. Back down toward, MLK continues farther south from there. So it's lifting up toward 835 and along 40 as you go east out of the city. Again, this is moving northeast at about 20 miles per hour or so. So there could be some 1-inch hail right there, but this really highlights the kind of environment we have. This was about 5 minutes ago. See how that scan has some of the purple with it, and then it drops off on the next scan. We don't see the type of environment out there for there to just be continued support of large hail, like golf ball size hail or baseball like we had back on Thursday. We don't see that. The threat today is the wind, but there could be a couple of isolated reports of at least 1-inch hail. Maybe the most intense storm today could maybe get up to golf ball size hail, but we definitely do not have a whole bunch of big hail producers out there. We've had them over the past few weeks and past month or so. Today's main threat is the wind, but also could be some hail as well. I want to show you this other thunderstorm down over northern parts of Terry County, just southeast of Sundown. That's going to lift up eventually towards Smyre. That also has a severe warning in place. And that severe thunderstorm warning goes until 5 o'clock. Again, maybe 1-inch hail, possibly 60 mile per hour wind. And that's moving northeast at 25 miles per hour. So if that one spot, maybe with some hail, possibly up to 1-inch diameter, if it holds together moving up towards Smyre at 25 miles per hour, that would get up there probably by about, this shows about 5:30 or so, would get closer to Smyre. It could expand a little bit farther east to maybe get western parts of Lubbock. But the nice thing is, see how it's kind of scattered out? That's what we want to see, not, thunderstorms they're showing hooks and kind of isolated by themselves. So there is some pretty good rainfall for parts of the area right now. We'll drop this track and then back it out to show you what across the South Plains, like Shania mentioned last night, this would bring better coverage of thunderstorms. So we're seeing that now from Lubbock to just north of Brownfield near Sundown, more to the northwest of Plains, and there's been more widespread coverage up in the Panhandle. And today that's where the greater risk for more severe weather is in the eastern Texas Panhandle. That's where there's a level 3 out of 5 risk. From there, Oklahoma Panhandle up into southwest Kansas. We had a Kansas visitor here last week. Shania surprised us, walked into the newsroom, had Brooklyn Ray, who's visiting Lubbock. So she's back up. Did she go back to Kansas?
Yeah,
she's back up in Kansas now. She didn't click her heels. She hopped on an airplane to go back up there, but definitely it was nice when she stopped in, saw John, saw me, saw the whole crew. I want to also show you what's going on. Different story on, and we'll get the radar loaded here, different radar picture than a couple of nights ago up in Oklahoma. You can see it is all clear. So, and the sun is shining, a mostly sunny sky up at Devon Park in Oklahoma City, where the Red Raiders will face off against the Sooners here in just over an hour. Pete's there. He's going to have a report at 5 o'clock. The scoreboard shows 1 hour, 13 minutes, and 55 seconds until that game gets started up at Oklahoma City. So unlike what's been a few days in a row up that direction, there are not storms tonight. Not expecting any weather-related delay up that direction. But back here on the South Plains, I want to show you what we do have here for eastern Lubbock and Lubbock County. Potential for 60 mile per hour wind and 1-inch hail. If you do have any questions, you can post them here for the in the chat on Facebook or on YouTube as well. Unfortunately, Nicole said lost the roof to her porch and heavy damage to the roof of her trailer house in Slayton. And that's the kind of wind that we have out there, the potential for 60-mile-per-hour gusts that can cause some damage like that. Also had some trees knocked down earlier in Idalou, and that's why the warning is in place for that potential for 60-mile-per-hour wind gust and maybe some 1-inch hail over eastern parts of Lubbock County. As far as anything inside the loop, it was briefly right there, one quick scan right at the southeastern edge of the loop, but pretty much all the heavy stuff is out over eastern Lubbock County and East Lubbock. But now we're turning out to the west and watching what is not a severe storm, but kind of scattered showers and thunderstorms moving near Ropesville and Wolforth toward Reese Center. That's going to move up at least to west and northwest Lubbock here over the next 15 minutes or so. So you can see how the coverage is increasing on showers and storms. Threat today is the wind and a potential, most storms about 60-mile-per-hour gust. More intense ones could go up to 75. Carol asked, what about Wolforth? So you've got the rain moving in right now. You may be hearing the thunder right now. It's just west of you where you have at least a thunderstorm, not severe, but that'll kick up the wind a little bit. Farther south and west, down near Lockettville, west of Ropesville and Meta, that's where that core is, maybe with some 1-inch hail, but that's probably going to continue, may pass just west of Wolforth. You can see the update here on the warning for eastern, pretty much Lubbock, east of the interstate, although really the potential for hail is east of the East Loop, a couple cores from Idalou to northwest of Ransom Canyon, to just northwest of Slayton. But everywhere within that warning, you have the potential for 60-mile-per-hour wind. We've been watching the dust kick up here from 98th and University. And storms, let's see. You can see some of the dust being kicked out here with the gusty wind. This is from 98th and University. And again, we do have a let me adjust this right here. Severe thunderstorm watch that goes until 9 o'clock tonight. So that's Lubbock, Tahoka, Brownfield, Post, and points north. Goes until 9 o'clock tonight, meaning storms that pop up could produce gusty wind and could produce some hail as well. We're hearing the thunder here over South Lubbock right now. I'll go back in here and show you that it is over East Lubbock with the and eastern Lubbock County with the severe warning. I'll read the latest update here. Just came in from the Weather Service. Let's see, that was at 4:53. Severe thunderstorm warning remains in effect until 5:45 for eastern Lubbock and west central Crosby counties. The storm you see right here where the brighter reds are is moving northeast at 15 miles per hour, 60-mile-per-hour wind gust, and quarter-size hail are possible with that storms. That's lifting up to the north and east at about 15, 20 miles per hour. You're getting some good rainfall over East Lubbock as well. Let me go back up a little bit farther north. Good question from Joanne up in Silverton in the southeastern Texas Panhandle, saying that you're in a tiny cabin. Well, this storm that's moving through, I guess it really depends on the structure of it, how well it is bolted down, or I should say built into the ground, because this is a storm that's right on top of you right now in Silverton with the potential for 60-mile-per-hour wind and maybe about 1-inch hail or so. So that's moving northeast at 25 miles per hour. So it's moving through pretty quickly, but that's a storm right there until 5:30 that probably just want to hang tight for a second in that cabin. It may get a little rocky here with that gusty wind, but if you're inside it right now, storm's on top of you, so just ride it out. We're getting ready for our newscast coming up here in just a few minutes here at 5 o'clock. I'll see Pete getting ready up in Oklahoma City as well. I'm excited for that Tech game. So 3 warnings we have right now. The one northwest of Brownfield, the one over East Lubbock, and the one near Silverton, north of Lockney and Floydada. So all the storms are moving southwest to northeast at about 20 to 25 miles per hour. Let me check this right here.
I guess for this one, do you want to go?
And let's see. So far, so good, Joanne. Good. That's with the storm that's right on top. You never want to say try to go outside and head somewhere else. That hopefully, so far, so good is what continues for you right there. And looking at just a couple of the other new bits of information that are coming in here. And the good news is not seeing just a whole lot of reports of like any wind damage or anything like that. And keep in mind, warnings are issued for 60-mile-per-hour gust, 1-inch hail. That's the minimum, the threshold. Used to be 3/4-inch hail. And across the Plain States, we really appreciated it when they upped it to 1 inch, so there weren't quite so many warnings. But again, East Lubbock, gusty wind and maybe some hail right there, also close to Meta. I'll be back. John will have a full update coming up on KCBD here in just about 1 minute away from the start of the newscast. So we'll join the newscast here for the weather portions in just a bit. But of course, if anything else pops up, we'll bring that to you right here at kcbd.com, as well as on Facebook and YouTube.
Can count on. This is KCBD News Channel 11 at 5.
Good afternoon. Thanks so much for joining us. Case is on assignment. Oh my goodness. Texas Tech softball is warming up ahead of their semifinal match in the College World Series. They're about to take on Oklahoma for a shot at the national title. KCBD News Channel 11's Pete Christie joins us live from inside Devon Park in Oklahoma City with what lies ahead for the Red Raiders. I bet the energy is awesome there. Hey there, Pete.
Hey there, Christy. No doubt about it. It's the biggest game or games in Red Raiders softball history. Taking on Oklahoma, 6 o'clock, the Sooners, the 4-time defending national champs. But Tech in the so-called driver's seat. They have to win one game. If they don't win that 6 o'clock game, there'll be an 8:30 game. And whoever wins that would go on to play Texas in a best-of-3 championship series starting 7 p.m. Wednesday. Take a look at the team about an hour and a half ago, leaving their team hotel. Parents, fans around there cheering on the Lady Raider, these ladies. Texas Tech has won 11 in a row. They're 52-12. They're battle-tested. Oklahoma 52-8. But they have trailed in all 3 games here at the Women's College World Series. Talking to coach, he says it is going to take the whole team to get this done.
We've had to work. Offensively, we're not the juggernaut and we don't have that talent maybe that some of the top programs has been around for a while. We've worked really hard to get where we can score runs, but we know we got to work really hard. And so I'm asking everybody in the dugouts working really hard. Everybody's doing the same thing every day.
They're going to empty their tanks without question. I've known Coach Glasgow for quite a long time, and I've watched his career move around some, but he's an amazing coach. He really is. Some of the stuff he pulls out of his hat is pretty epic, but he does it the right way. I really enjoy going up against him because you know you're going to have a battle.
And that's what it's going to be, a battle on the diamond tonight. Texas Tech going to unload everything they have with Nigeri Canada in Game 1. Texas Tech 5-0 here at Devon Park. Really have outscored opponents with ease, but obviously these are the toughest games. Oklahoma wanting to try to get a 5-peat here. They're going to have to beat Tech twice. Tech only needs to win one. We'll see how it plays out. With the Red Raiders in Oklahoma City at the Women's College World Series, Pete Christie, we'll send it back to you.
We've got our fingers crossed and our guns up. Thanks so much there, Pete. Turning now to our weather, the First Alert Weather Team is tracking thunderstorms across the South Plains. John joins us now with a look at the radar and what else we could expect this evening. John, they're just kind of popcorn showers that are popping up, or thunderstorms popping up.
As a matter of fact, that is true over the South Plains in general. Christy, we've had some reports of hail, wind over 60 miles an hour, a little bit of damage, and as you can see, severe thunderstorm watch covering most of the South Plains from the Panhandle down to Plainview and Lubbock, Brownfield, and Post. As far as Doppler radar, you're going to find some isolated severe thunderstorms indicated in our region, and keep in mind these are generally tracking northeast. They're not widespread as far as severe coverage, but a few of them do get strong enough to produce potentially golf ball size hail and winds of 60 miles an hour. And you can see a couple of them in Lubbock County. One is just developing back near the airport, and one that has been severe with some hail earlier close to Ransom Canyon, making its way at Buffalo Springs onto the northeast. Then another one we're watching closely here, actually working a little bit to the north towards Smyre and Hockley County, near the community of Meadow, but again, a warning on that brings it up to the southwest, just southwest of Lubbock if it continues on that track. But keep in mind, these will continue off and on into the evening, diminishing a little later on this evening. The watch is in effect till 9 o'clock. As far as our current conditions, we do have cloudy skies in Lubbock and temperatures are mild going into the evening hours, scattered thunderstorms and activity diminishing, and then tomorrow much cooler.
Okay, thanks so much, John.
Take a look at Doppler radar and we'll show you what is taking place. Shania is operating that. And the radar will continue to indicate a few isolated severe storms. One, it's weakening up in the areas of Briscoe County near Silverton. These are by far the strongest storms in the central South Plains, including Lubbock County, parts of Crosby County, and back down into the areas of Hockley and Terry County. A quick zoom in, and you can see not much going on around the city. We do have a moderate thunderstorm here along 84 near the Ransom Canyon area. There was a stronger storm there earlier. That has tracked onto the northeast, now located about the airport along Idalou. Some showers generally around Lorenzo, but that activity is moving on to the northeast, and we'll see if it intensifies again. Then back to our southwest, you can see a cluster of thunderstorms again. These are the ones we were checking out on a tower cam. Some of that along 114 back to the north, and then some stronger storms. And again, a warning on this, what is happening, these storms will intensify. They may produce some wind gusts over 60 miles an hour. We had some isolated reports of damage in a few communities around, and also potentially up to maybe golf ball size hail, at least for a brief period of time. Then they start diminishing in intensity. So we've got that taking place now. Not much going on north of Meadow from the latest reports. There is some lightning with this if you got outdoor activities. Heavier part of that storm really is southwest of Levelland, and you can see that system is tracking on to the northeast. So you can expect these to continue off and on for several more hours, diminishing later on going into the evening hours. As far as the forecast, not anticipating anything after midnight or later tonight and tomorrow. We're looking at temperatures in the morning from 68 in Snyder, mid-60s in Matador, 68 in Lubbock, and then you'll find some mid-60s down in the Seminole area and low 60s over in Tatum, New Mexico. So quite a variety there. A few 50s in our northwestern areas. Then your highs tomorrow, daytime highs will be close to 90 degrees in Lubbock. There is a strong front moving its way into our region and might trigger a few storms there. So I expect some 70s up in the northwestern areas, some 80s along the northeastern areas in the South Plains, and 90s from Guthrie all the way down to Snyder. As I mentioned, about 90 degrees in Lubbock, low 90s in Brownfield and Seminole, some upper 80s in Hobbs area. And we're trying to get our little screen modified here for you that popped up on the Doppler radar and our unit here. But overall, you get the idea. It's going to be much cooler northern areas tomorrow, 70s. Much warmer south, still hot in the Seminole Gale area, that front rolling through. And here's that 7-day forecast. Notice the temperature lows 68 in the morning, and it looks like I did see a report I mentioned. Sundown Mesonet had a wind gust of 56 miles an hour shortly after 5 o'clock. Tomorrow, near 90 degrees. As we cool down, rain chances are lower. Wednesday, a few clouds, low 80s, and then it's upper 80s with a chance of thunderstorms, some severe likely Thursday. Still some storm potential Friday. It looks like storms will be down. Temperatures will be up on Saturday, Sunday, Christy.
Just had a little cloud hanging around.
Yeah.
Just to
Oh, it's gone.
I saw Matt and Shania make it disappear.
Yeah.
Thanks so much, John. From pen and paper to face, a pair of pen pals have taken their friendship off the page. We'll show you how some teachers and compared to like what we saw Thursday night.
No, and these are hit and miss as far as the hail and the wind, Christy, maybe gusting up to 70 miles an hour with a few of the storms, but then they taper down. The hail could approach golf ball size. This is a quick look, and you can see that storm out to the west of Lubbock, but there's no longer a warning on that storm in Hockley County. We still have a warning in one northeast of Lubbock, really just in the northeast part of the city, and really making its way up along the areas around Idlewood. It looks like it's clearing the city. That's working its way up towards Floydada. A few showers around Rawls, a moderate thunderstorm around Wilson, but 7-day forecast shows we got a break from the storms tomorrow, Christy, but then there's another storm chance coming up on Thursday. That's when we'll have a better chance of more serious type thunderstorms. Now, these are serious with winds and potential hail, but not like last week.
And this is like the north kind of east area that hasn't seen as much as that west area.
And southwest area. Yeah, a little different rain. Maybe they need the rain.
Okay, thanks so much, John. Thank you so much for joining us. NBC Nightly News is next with Tom Yamas as he starts his new gig.
by Cantex Roofing. This is a First Alert Severe Weather Update.
Good evening, meteorologist John Robinson. We have a severe thunderstorm warning for most of Hockley County. This storm that's now rolling into Levelland has some very heavy rainfall. Could produce some wind gusts, possibly up to 60 miles an hour. And you can tell here it has produced potentially some quarter-size hail between Pettit and Highway 385. Looks like that hail size is diminishing a little bit as it moves towards Oklahoma Flat. And you can see it doesn't appear to be significant size at this time, but a few of these storms throughout the afternoon as they've gotten stronger have produced near quarter-size hail, and they have produced some cases of winds of 50, maybe 60 miles an hour or stronger. The storm, by the way, extends all the way down to Meta, just tracking generally north, a little bit to the northeast. We could still see some more development maybe in this region here, work its way towards southwest Lubbock, and then some other showers and storms still occurring southeast of Lubbock in the Slayton area. The moderate showers over Floyd County all the way down on near Petersburg and Hale County. Nothing significant to our east, and it looks like the same story. Nothing significant to the west. One little shower popping up in Hockley County. Keep in mind there is a severe thunderstorm watch in effect for most of the South Plains, including Lubbock and Plainview. That's in effect till 9 o'clock tonight, but we'll continue to monitor these storms. We'll have the latest update coming at 6 p.m.
Good evening, and thank you for joining us as severe thunderstorms batter the South Plains with high wind, gust, and hail.
John is in the First Alert Forecast Center with a look at the radar and where these storms are moving now. John?
Well, Karen and Abner, they've been scattered across parts of the South Plains, in and around Lubbock so far, not so much in the city. We're taking a view here first with our tower camera view at First Bank and Trust and showing you a severe thunderstorm northwest of Lubbock, really in Hockley County. That is rolling through the area near Levelland and tracking on possibly up towards Lamb County. And you can see the darkness there. Maybe we'll see some lightning. This particular storm could produce some wind gusts, maybe up to 60 miles an hour. That's been common with some of these storms. Also, there was indications earlier of at least some 1-inch size hail or larger with this storm, but that was northeast of the Levelland area. And you can see some dust being kicked up. And we're watching the southwestern area of this storm and look at the intense areas of rain and potentially some dust with that as well, and some lightning. So we're monitoring that as we look at our radar and show you what's going on. There is a severe thunderstorm watch in effect for most of the South Plains, and that's in effect till 9 o'clock. And this is a severe thunderstorm here moving through Hockley County again and making its way towards the northeastern corner. It's actually edging up just south of Littlefield, and this is an area where it looks like there may be some hail once again southwest of Littlefield. Otherwise, the showers moving out of Levelland. Notice the storms, though, down around Smyre. A portion of this could be producing some strong winds. That is edging into southeastern areas of Hockley County. We'll move into southwestern Lubbock County, but no warnings over Lubbock. Just the severe thunderstorm watch at this point. Thunderstorms here have just developed in southeastern Lubbock County, southeast of Lubbock. In general, most of these storms are tracking northeast, and that's been the pattern today. We're likely to see this continuing off and on at least for several more hours. As far as the forecast coming up, rain chances out tomorrow, cooler temperatures, and then we're going to see mild temperatures Wednesday. Then Karen and Abner on Thursday. Severe thunderstorms will return to the region once again.
Okay, thank you, John.
produce potentially some large hail earlier and some very gusty winds associated with that. Keep in mind there is still a severe thunderstorm watch in effect for most of the South Plains, including Lubbock, and we can show you that covers our South Plains counties in general. And I do want to mention Smyre has reported a wind gust about 6 o'clock of 63 miles an hour. So it gives you an idea of what's going on. So we check out, you can see the watch covering anywhere from Matador to Silverton, back down to Lubbock, Tahoka, Brownfield Plains, really right up to the Texas-New Mexico state line. That's in effect right now, at least until 9 o'clock. So we look at the showers and storms. Most of the activity that's strong is really centered west of Lubbock over Hockley County, a little area from now near Littlefield all the way down west of Lubbock along the Lubbock and Hockley County line. This storm is tracking northeast, as you can see. This portion here is producing some heavy rainfall. This is some new development in the Ropesville area, Meta, right along 62. Hopefully that's just going to bring some rain up around shallow water and the northwest areas of Lubbock County, maybe towards Abernathy. The severe part of the storm over Levelland obviously has dissipated a little bit, but it's also tracked to the north, and it's still quite strong in and around the Littlefield area. In fact, some indications potentially there may be some hail southwest of Littlefield, but there's not a warning on that storm, at least not at this time. But keep in mind, it's over Littlefield. It is tracking northeast. There may be an area of hail here. That's west of 385, just south of 84. It's tracking up towards Fieldton and Corey. It's in the Spade area. Might work its way over towards Cotton Center, or maybe even eventually, if it holds together, up towards Plainview. These storms have been generally intended to intensify, then they start diminishing somewhat as they work their way across our region. To the east, nothing severe here. Floyd County, scattered showers all the way down southeast of Lubbock and down to the west and southwest of Tahoka. Some thunderstorms down in Lee County, New Mexico, that will work their way up towards Gaines County. So scattered showers, thunderstorms will continue several more hours, maybe even later on tonight, as late as midnight. Not necessarily severe, but showers and storms and rain in the forecast. To look at your forecast for tonight, nighttime lows will be mild over the South Plains, generally in the 60s from Lubbock. Some cooler 50s northwest, some mid and upper 60s down south. Your afternoon highs tomorrow cooler than today, 97 in Lubbock today. Tomorrow with the frontal boundary and gusty winds rolling in, 90 degrees. We're looking at 70s in the northwest and then 90s down south. So it'll be quite a turnaround in temperatures after today as we cool down tomorrow evening. Might be a few storms along the frontal boundary tomorrow, but the probability is low. But a reminder again, a thunderstorm watch still in effect. Includes Lubbock and Plainview, most of the South Plains. Tomorrow looks like rain chances low, temperature 90. We cool down a little more Wednesday. Thursday may be an active day, Karen and Abner, with a chance of thunderstorms once again severe.
Okay, thank you, John. The softball national semifinals are underway. Zach has more as Texas Tech takes on Oklahoma.
Plus, Aaliyah Chavez hosts one final camp before heading to Oklahoma. That's next in sports.
We're starting Doppler radar. I do want to show you a severe thunderstorm warning has now been issued in Lamb County. Thunderstorm we were looking at a few minutes ago just coming in Littlefield is now north of Littlefield, but this storm has the potential still possible quarter-size hail and winds of 60 miles an hour. If there's any hail, it looks like it may just be west-southwest along 385 north of Littlefield, but some very intense rain, obviously still just north of Littlefield. Back around Spade, shower storms there, part of that complex. It is going northeast and it could impact the Olton area. It looks like it may stay west of Spring Lake and Earth. Moderate shower west of Lubbock is not severe, just bringing welcome rainfall. Same thing in the eastern areas of Lubbock County, back up northwest of Rawls, Floyd County, nothing severe. Some heavy rainfall down in the area between Wilson and Tahoka. These storms continue to track generally to the northeast. A quick look at the 7-day forecast show you tomorrow. Cooler temperatures, not expecting any significant storm activity, but we do have a chance of storms back on Thursday, Karen and Abner.
Okay, thank you, John. John's watching the weather for you, and we will see you back here at 10.
Be safe. We'll see you later.